Adam Castellino for MadWorldNews.com. Crazy Sanders proves how bad things are for Democrats with what he just said about Trump. In yet another display of absurdity, Senator Bernie Sanders spoke out against President Donald Trump. Despite Bernie's own problems, like his wife's FBI investigation, he found the time to attack the leader of the free world. As the Democratic Party continues to crumble, their people can only point fingers. However, what Bernie said proves how bad things are getting for the Democrats and that liberals have nothing left in their bag of tricks. The Democratic Party has been in free fall for a while. Since losing the 2016 election, they've all but eaten each other. They lost numerous seats across state and federal government. Americans in droves have rejected their radical views. On top of that, recent scandals will ensue. They have zero chances of recovering in the near future. You'd think that this group of liberals would learn. You'd think that they would take a hard look at how they are behaving. Perhaps they would reform. Perhaps they would realize they need to return to honesty, American values, and, of course, reject every last member of their party that stinks of corruption. No, they'll just continue to attack Donald Trump because that works so well for them so far. In a recent interview, Sanders proved the left is all out of ideas when he called on Trump to resign. Sunday on NBC's Meet the Press, Senator Bernie Sanders said President Donald Trump should resign because he has been accused by many women of assault. Really? Sanders said, okay, let's just take a quick listen to this idiot here. This communist, I should say.
On the job. I want to ask you about the issue of impeachment. Here's Tom Steyer. He's a billionaire activist, may run for the U.S. Senate himself in California. Right. He's been running these ads nationwide. Let me play a clip.
He's brought us to the brink of nuclear war, obstructed justice at the FBI,
really?
And in direct violation of the Constitution.
He's talking about the Democrats.
And threatened to shut down news organizations that report the truth.
The truth, huh?
If that isn't a case for impeaching and removing a dangerous president, then what has our government become?
Look, you just established you want him to resign. But
Chuck, what I just said is Al Franken felt it proper for him to resign. Here you have a president who has been accused by many women of assault, who says on a tape that he assaulted women. He might want to think about doing the same.
All right, no, but understandable. But let me go to this impeachment question here. Is Tom Steyer right that it's time to look at that? There was already a House vote this week. Many Democrats weren't ready to vote to get on that bandwagon yet. Where are you on this issue?
I think there is a process that has to be followed. I think Mr. Mueller is doing a very good job on his investigation.
We all know that.
Mueller brings forth the clear evidence that there was collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians. I think you have grounds for impeachment, but I think jumping the gun does nobody any good. You have to bring the American people onto this issue. You don't want to make it into a partisan issue. If we're going to go forward with impeachment, I want the American people clearly to understand why that is the case, why it makes sense, why it's the right thing to do. I don't think we're there right now. That's what the Mueller investigation is all about. And by the way, I am deeply offended by Republican efforts to try to discredit Mr. Mueller. When he was FBI director, he was a great guy. Now that he's doing his job here, Republicans don't like him. I think that's really very unfair.
That is an issue we are actually going to be diving into.
Well, thank the good Lord that Bernie Sanders wasn't even close to becoming president. I mean, could you just imagine what this country would be like with that idiot? This is all liberals have. That's all they have. Sanders is referencing the 12-year-old audio of Trump's locker room talk. You know, the audio that had zero impact on the election. You'd think if Americans were really upset by it, he wouldn't have won. But it's been proven that this out-of-date audio doesn't upset most Americans. They understand it doesn't represent the president today. Yet liberals like Sanders are desperate to find something, anything that will sink Trump. They've yet to find it. Their pathetic Russian scandal has blown up in their faces. Their fake news agenda only hurts themselves. So now, in light of recent sexual abuse stories, they are going back to the old audio. They think that because many liberals are being outed, they can do the same to Trump. There's just one big difference. Trump didn't harass anyone. Sanders is trying to make an outdated piece of audio the same as what Weinstein or Franken actually did. These liberal men assaulted women. They've admitted to it and lost their jobs. President Trump has done nothing of the kind. Yet, far be it for Sanders to let facts get in the way of his story. He knows nothing he will say will affect President Trump. Still, he goes on TV to express these idiotic views. Why? Because he thinks it will influence the American people. He goes as far as lying to the public's face. He added Al Franken felt it was proper for him to resign. Here you have a president who has been accused by many women who say on tape that he assaulted them. He might want to think about doing the same. Source Breitbart. Here we see Bernie, brow moist with flop sweat, trying to connect his fallen ally Franken with the president. Instead of admitting the left is in shambles, he points the blame at someone else. Instead of trying to reform whatever is left of the liberal base, he tries to drag Trump down with them. It's not going to work, Bernie. Americans see through your pathetic charade. Unless liberals reform and at least try to win over Americans, they'll never recover. But it seems they are too proud and dishonest to do that. You know, the thing is, they're losing their money. The corruption that runs deep in the Democratic Party. They don't want to lose the money. That's the whole thing. That's why they're going after Trump. They don't want to lose their power. They already lost it. They're dead in the water. Look at all of them. They're a mess. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.